To continue on with Excel Project 4, the next items we're going to tackle are the formulas that calculate monthly payment, total interest, and total cost. And this starts around page 221 in your book. The formula is a little bizarre, but if you follow them and make sure that you get the right numbers, I would check it every step of the way to make sure that they are accurate. But I'm first going to do the calculation for monthly payment, and this is kind of odd, but I'm going to type it in as the book gives it to us. And I'm going to use rate because they had us do that in the last step. Same with term. And in place of those, I could use the cell names like F5 or whatever the respective is, but I'm doing it the way the book had it done. So let's make sure this is right. I always like to double check my formula before finishing them up. So that is, and I have my check mark, and make sure my value matches what they have in the book, and that's so far so good. Now the total interest is another kind of odd formula, and I'm going to type that in. Monthly payment minus, and in my opinion, it's much easier when you set up your labels instead of having to use the correct cells, although we'll do that in some of the other formulas coming up. Okay, and then the total cost, this is actually a pretty easy one. This is actually the price. And I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to click where the price is, and we add to that the total interest. So the price plus the total interest, and that gives us the correct value. Now, I'm looking on figure 4-13 to make sure that the numbers coincide, and they do, so I feel pretty good at that point. Something else they're going to do, I'm not going to do this just for time reasons, is they have you on the next couple pages try some different values just to make sure that in fact these numbers do work. So I would take a second to do that. I'm going to save this now. It's a good time to save. And then I'm going to jump into the next part here where we do the varying interest rate schedule. This is actually down in row 9. So I'm going to type this label. And this is the same operation as we did before. I'm going to highlight across C9 through F9. I'm going to merge and center. I'm going to come up here and use the title to format that. It's a nice fast way to do that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the labels for these. Okay, again, these are found in your book. Now notice I need to widen column D a little bit because it's with putting monthly payment in there. It needs to be wide, a little wider. Now I'm going to start down here in cell C12, and they want us to put 3.0%, and we're going to increment that 3.25%. And then here's a neat little trick that you can do, and we'll do this a few times, is I'm going to start off the sequence with these two, and then in the bottom right hand corner is a little square. If I grab hold of that square, I can auto fill that down to 4.25. You know what, I started the sequence wrong. Let me do that again real quick just to show that. It should be 3.125. Okay, notice I need to increase my decimal. So I probably need to do that for both of these. Auto fill down to 4.25. Yeah, that looks better. If you start the sequence off wrong like I did the first time, you get the wrong results there. So that's how that works. I'm going to go to row 12 here, and I'm going to do a couple operations here. Let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is in cell D11, I'm going to set that equal to our monthly payment, which is actually equals D11. Sorry, F6. Okay, and that's just pulling that number from right there. So that's an easy way to do that. Over here in total interest, this is equal to F7, and then our total cost is equal to that there. So that's the way you could easily pull those over. We'll format those in a moment and get the currency and everything set up. Now this next part is actually another fast way to do this operation. I'm going to highlight whatever it looks like in figure 420. Highlight those cells. Notice I did not highlight rate at the top or anything like that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go under the Data tab, and I'm going to select What If Analysis and go to Data Table. And this part here is a little tricky, but make sure you click in the column input cell, and you can click here and select that cell there, which is F4, with dollar signs in front of both F and 4, and notice how that fills in your table for you automatically. Nice, quick, smooth operation. And again, I'm going to check to make sure in figure 422, that those numbers do match. Now, I'm going to highlight these, and I'm going to go to Home. I'm going to set up my currency. I do this every so often just to make sure that they're accurate. Okay, now the book has you do this slightly different, and I'm not terribly picky. They want you actually to turn the symbol off without having the dollar sign, except for the top row, do that. Okay, so let's do that for the currency, this one here. Okay, that's just so it matches what the book looks like. So I'm going to save at this point, and we will continue in the next part.